My name is Clara. I am 29 years old, and I was born in a tiny farming village surrounded by mountains and endless fields. Our home was small, built with bricks and old wood. During winter, cold air entered through the cracks in the walls. During summer, the heat made it hard to sleep. My family worked on a small farm. We grew corn, vegetables, and raised a few animals. Life was never easy. Every morning I woke up before sunrise. I fed the chickens, milked the cows, and helped my mother cook breakfast. My hands became rough at a very young age. But deep inside me, there was always a dream. Every afternoon, I would climb a small hill behind our house and watch buses drive toward the city. Those buses carried strangers to places I had never seen. I often whispered to myself, one day I'll be on one of those buses. My younger sister once laughed and asked me, "Why do you always stare at the road?" I smiled and said, "Because my future might be traveling on it." My father was a hard-working man, but very traditional. He believed women should marry young and stay close to family. One evening during dinner, he looked at me and said, "Your neighbor's son wants to marry you." I nearly dropped my spoon. "What?" "He has land, animals, and a stable life. You'll be comfortable." I shook my head. "I don't want to marry right now." The room became silent. My father slammed his hand on the table. "Then what do you want?" I looked directly at him. "I want more." His face turned red with anger. "More? What more can the world give you?" "A chance," I replied quietly. That night, my father refused to speak to me. Weeks passed with constant arguments. My mother secretly understood my pain. One night, she entered my room carrying an old box. Inside was a little money she had been saving for years. She placed it in my hands. "If you truly want to leave, go now before fear stops you." Tears filled my eyes. "What about father?" "He may hate your decision today," she said softly. "But one day, he may understand." Before sunrise the next morning, I packed my clothes into a small bag. I kissed my sleeping sister goodbye. Then I left. I walked for hours until I reached the bus station. My heart was racing. I bought a one-way ticket to the city. When the bus started moving, I looked back at my village one last time and cried silently. The city was terrifying. Tall buildings, loud streets, thousands of strangers. Nobody knew my name. Nobody cared if I survived. I rented a tiny room with broken windows. The mattress was thin, the walls were dirty, but it was mine. I searched everywhere for work. Restaurants rejected me. Stores ignored me. Factories said I lacked experience. Days turned into weeks. My savings disappeared quickly. Sometimes I only ate bread and water. One rainy afternoon, I stood outside a bakery. The owner noticed me staring. He came outside. "Are you hungry?" I nodded. He handed me leftover bread. After eating, I gathered courage. "Do you need workers?" He looked at me carefully. "Can you wake up early?" "I've done that my whole life." He smiled. "Come tomorrow." That bakery changed my life. I cleaned floors, washed dishes, packed bread, learned recipes, worked from 4 a.m. until late evening. The job was exhausting, but I loved learning. The bakery owner, Mrs. Eleanor, became like family. One day she told me, "You work harder than anyone here." I smiled. I know what poverty feels like. I never want to go back. Years passed. I saved every coin, instead of buying expensive clothes or wasti. Money. I focused on my dream. Eventually, I started baking cakes at night and selling them online. At first, only a few people ordered. Then more customers came. My cakes became popular because they were affordable and delicious. Soon, I rented a tiny bakery space. It had only one oven, one table, and old equipment, but it was mine. I worked day and night. Slowly, my bakery became successful. People traveled from different neighborhoods to buy my cakes and bread. I hired workers, expanded my business, and opened a second bakery, then a third. Years later, I became one of the most successful bakery owners in the city. One afternoon, I received a letter from my younger sister. It read, "Father is very sick. Mother misses you every day. Please come home." I stared at the letter for a long time. Then I booked my trip home. When I returned to my village, Everything looked smaller. The roads, the houses, even the hill where I once watched buses. My mother saw me first. She ran toward me crying, "My daughter." I hugged her tightly. "I missed you so much." Then I saw my father standing near the door. He looked older, weaker. His eyes were full of regret. He walked slowly toward me. "I was wrong," he whispered. "I thought I was protecting you." Tears rolled down his face, but I was only holding you back. I hugged him tightly. "You were scared, Father. I understand." He cried like a child. "I'm proud of you." Those words healed years of pain. Before leaving, I repaired their home, bought medicine for my father, and gave money to help the village school. As I prepared to return to the city, my sister asked, "Was leaving worth it?" I looked at the road and smiled. Yes, because dreams are scary, but regret is far worse. I returned to my business stronger than ever, and every time I see a young girl with big dreams, I tell her this: your beginning does not decide your future. Your courage does. Sometimes you must leave comfort behind to discover the life waiting for you. And never forget, success means nothing if you forget where you came from.